Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM24 Youth Factory, episode 57. We're on top by 4 points ahead of Barnsley now instead of Preston, who continue to stumble and fall here late in the season. They are on a terrible run of form. I think they've lost like 5 out of their last 6 or something along those lines. So not only have we pulled ahead of them, they've now slipped all the way down into just the playoff zone instead of the automatic promotion spots. Now, the ultimate goal, of course, is the automatic promotion. We're 6 points ahead on that one with Preston stumbling. It's another further 4 points to Plymouth, who aren't. Barnsley, though, is a team that is performing, and they have stayed relatively close. They're just 4 points behind. We've got 6 to play. The next 4 are all very winnable games. The last 2 are going to be incredibly tough. For the next 4, with all of them being winnable, it would be great to see us get to 12 points. I think that would just about take care of things and win the league. But let's be a realist for a moment. Even on the road, even against a weak team, especially late in the season, pressure on, it's so easy to drop points. So easy to stumble. The league's close. I would be very happy if we can get 10 points from the next 12. Let's see if we can do it. So far, so good, as we open with a 5-2 victory over 13th place Burton at home. Next up, though, we're going to be on the road. Archie Jones got us going with a second-minute goal. Wilkinson adding a second in the 6th minute. That was still not to be enough, as they'd get 2 back by the half-hour mark, which at the time made it 2-2. But a penalty got us ahead. Archie Jones getting his brace, and Kalen Plain, our now on loan player, who will be exiting the squad at the end of the season, really sealing the deal late on. 15-10 on the shots, the on target. Nothing significant about the advantage here other than clearly they had to commit a lot of fouls to shut us down. We only had 2 fouls all game, and somehow Ben Hassel ended up with a yellow. But Barnsley beat Shrewsbury 3-2. Preston again dropping points with a 2-2 draw against Wigan. Is just about putting them out of that race. It's now 8 points clear with 5 to play of the automatic. With that win, we secure a playoff spot, but of course, we're seeking at least the automatic qualification at this point. The next opponent is 22nd in the league in FC Halifax. Should be an easy game, except, well, here's a couple things about it. 1, we're on the road. 2, they are in the midst of a tight battle for relegation. Below them, Tranmere Rovers in 23rd, the next position below, sits on just 23 points. A 15-point gap between those 2 teams. Shrewsbury a further 3 points down. So 2 teams are easily getting relegated this season. But Halifax, Carlisle, Salford, Crewe, Rochdale, all within 3 points of each other. 5 teams, 3 points apart, with 5 matches to go. 1 victory can make all of the difference. Goal differential is actually relatively close between all of them as well, and none of them are awful in goal differential. They're not getting hammered. We're a plus 54. Tranmere's a minus 56. Shrewsbury is a minus 45, and Barnsley's a plus 45. So the top and bottom teams, 2 at either end, are to one extreme or the other. But everybody in between, much closer contests. And they very much have a close contest for that. Well, will they, won't they get relegated? They got a lot to play for. This is not a given that we are going to come out on top for this match. Also, where March was very light. We had 3 games all of March. Now that we're into April, back to back over a little stretch here. A lot of 2-game weeks, 2-match weeks. So it's going to be a busy one here. And there's those first drop points. 1-1 on the road. A penalty for Robbie Reed, but even when you look at the stats, we had 1 shot on target the entire match. We might have had the possession, but we could not turn it into anything, and FC Halifax have drawn with us. So they say right where they were, same points, just goal differential between them and being 19th. But for us, it's down to a 2-point lead as Barnsley have won 1-0 on the road at Crawley Town. Preston on 80. That's drop points again, isn't it? Yes, Preston drew with Carlisle. So the gap there, again, remains the same. 4 to play, 8 ahead of Preston, but now just 2 ahead of Barnsley, who are suddenly breathing down our neck. Run into the end of the season. Barnsley have won at least 5 straight. By the way, we had won 4 straight before that draw allowed them to close in. Here is the final matches. Wrexham, 2 on the road, 3 at home remain for them. Couple top teams, 3 top 12 teams. Not going to be an easy run. They do have the weaker, I don't know. They can get a decent amount of points from those. Plymouth Argyle still have 5 to play like Wrexham. They have us at the end of the season. They have Wrexham and Birmingham. That's a difficult schedule for Plymouth Argyle. High likelihood of them dropping some points. And without a cushion to get the automatic promotion kind of spots and not just playoff zone, it's going to be a tough run for them. Birmingham, only 1 point further behind, but down to 4 to play. So they are out of reach, right? They are out of reach, even of Barnsley. The only thing keeping these 2 in it is the fact that there's 5 to play for them instead of 4. Preston get Burton on the road. Not an easy road game, but you could do something with that. That's who we just drew with, isn't it? No. That was Halifax. Mid-table team right now is almost an easier opponent than any of those teams fighting off that relegation. But then Shrewsbury, already relegated, nothing left to play for them, but they've got us in Birmingham at the end. It's a difficult stretch for them, and the way they've performed lately, you would expect that it's down to us in Barnsley, which means we should be in position to get that automatic promotion, but it's can we take the title? Barnsley has not a single team left in the top 10. All of our opponents left are in the top 10. At this point, you got to make Barnsley favorites. They've got to be. We had a Friday night game. Now we have a Monday night game, just a few days apart. And I picked up 3 injuries, either on that Friday night game or in the training in the days since. But most of them have been cleared and capable of playing. Sam Lyons is the only one who remains out. But a few of these guys are coming in with a less than ideal condition. With this being the easiest of the 4 matches that remain, and with the back-to-back nature and the minor injuries to a lot of guys, we are forced into some pretty heavy squad rotation for this match. Hewitt starting on top, Lanahan Penreese moving to the left wing, Walker getting the start at the right wing, Joseph again starting in place of the injured Sam Lyons. That's been going on for a while, but Ward pushing from the right to the left with Potter getting the start on the right, and Rossini getting the start at center back. That is one of the heaviest squad rotation days we have had. Let's see if the team can perform. Of course, most of our other guys are available on the bench, and we could see them come in the second half. The team really can't afford to drop any more points. And they've done exactly that. They have dropped the points. They go goalless, control the match, but only get 3 shots on target and do not score. But Barnsley have lost to AFC Wimbledon, and we are back to a 3-point lead with 3 to play. Preston is also exactly 9 points behind with 3 to play, but Plymouth are still in touching distance as they have 4 to play. But both of them are at 28-27 goal differential with a massive gap. Even if we lose all 3, it's unlikely that either one of them could overtake us. But we're now mathematically 1 point away from securing promotion, but it's still very much on against Barnsley for the title. But they not only drop points, but they lose for the first time in quite a while. Penalties involved, that being the difference. But even then, that established a 2-goal lead that quickly came back down to a 1-goal lead. A little bit of a wild game for them. Neither team put up much XG in this game, this goalless draw that we just had with Blackpool. But the last 3 games are all going to be tougher. And as we already noted, and another minor injury, Phil Hewitt. Meanwhile, with the under-21s, as they are about to finish up their league season, the Premier Division 2, they're in last place, but they do have 12 points. They are getting some wins. They're not getting absolutely hammered, but it's been another one of those, ho-hum U21 seasons. U18s, last I checked, had 1 to play and were second in their league. Back onto those U18s for a second. The league phase finished with them in second place, behind Hull City for the South Division. Crystal Palace and West Ham take the top two spots for the North Division, which turns into a semifinal. The semifinal was a win over Crystal Palace, number one seed for the others. So it's actually Hull and us that will play in the finals. So we have our team playing against Hull in the final. That's pretty cool. We'll see what happens with that one. Doncaster is 8th in the league. Not an easy road game here at all, but huge opportunity. With these 3 to play, doing the math, right? We're 3 points ahead, so we can already lose 1 of 3 because we have a healthy goal differential. We need to win 2 out of 3 to win the title. Not easy with the 3 games that we have. Not easy with 2 of them on the road. But there's still the chance that Barnsley drops points too. They've only lost once. They've only dropped points once in quite a while here. And we've seen our team, as young as they are, we've seen them collapse in the pressure of a title fight late. They kind of already did it in that last game where they ended up drawing 0-0 in a very dull, weak performance. But that was with a lot of squad rotation. Today, other than Sam Lyons being replaced by Curtis Joseph, Lyons not quite back from his injury. Everybody's available. Nice inside move from Adekunle, but he's going to pull it back from McCartney. Out to Ward. Inside to Adekunle. He's going to get a chance. It's blocked. Sure. Barnsley lead 2-0. 15 minutes in against Portsmouth. Pressure's on. That puts them within 1 point of us as things stand. Live standings. Big cross there. Laid off for their guy at the edge of the box, and he's going to shoot high. Barnsley leads 3-0. Wilkinson. Now McCartney. McCartney had a chance to turn, but he goes backwards with it. We're a little too calm in possession at the moment to really do anything with this. McCartney finally attacking some space, and Adekunle now carries on, crosses, far post. Wilkinson beats his man to that header, but gets underneath it, pops it up and over the goal. We've played 26. Wilkinson cuts inside, now outside, to the byline. Adekunle! Good header from position, a little bit too far out. Barnsley now 4-0. Holy crap. We've only had 3 attempts here, and we approach halftime. We have not dominated this game. We've been the better team, but not significantly. In fact, they got enough XG off that attempt right there that they now have become the favorite Lanahan Penrys now. Headed away. Adekunle is going to keep it in. Finds McCartney cutting inside. Lays it off for Joseph. Blocked in close. Was that off an arm? Apparently not. Blocked, knocked down, partial clearance, and we head to halftime. Now, for one, a point is enough to secure promotion and takes pressure off. Obviously, a point would drop us to 1 point ahead of Barnsley, who are easily winning their game right now. A point's not the end of the world. A point still gives us a small margin. In the end, for that half, we did get up to 6 shots, identical XG, and a huge possession advantage. Everyone is motivated as we start the second half. No changes yet, but we will make changes early if the flow of the game stays the same. Joseph. Wilkinson takes it to the outside. Takes it to the byline, cuts back, but nobody's running into that pocket. So far, it's looking much the same as the first half was. We are going to have to change something, it looks like, if we are going to get on top of this, because now we've played an hour and we're going to go more attacking. Start playing with a little bit higher tempo, and we're going to try to underlap. Wilkinson has picked up a knock. Let's go ahead and get him out of there. Bring on Walker. And we're going to put our 2 inverted wingers on attack now, so get more aggressive. Points certainly not the end of the world for us, but we need to try to win this game. 10 minutes. Nothing's happened. No shots. There has not been one shot in the second half. 35 minutes played and not one shot. We're going to get Adekunle out of there for Phil Hewitt. We'll bring on Pascal Wiley as well. Fresh legs. Fresh legs to try to help us see this thing out. Adekunle taking the corner. Stoppage time. Back-to-back goalless nightmares for us, or can we get something late? Phil Hewitt cuts back too much. Lays it off for McFadden. That was tipped. Out for a corner. Final minute. That's cleared. Walker, back to McFadden. McFadden. Oh. Terrible play from McFadden. Ward. Back into Joseph. Gets it back. Pumps it forward. Nothing doing. That's probably going to see full time. Goalless. 3 shots all in that final couple of minutes after we really went attacking. We did give away 2 shots to them in the end too, but goalless draw is really what this game deserved, and it's what it got. So promotion is secured. It's down to us and Barnsley, but with their comfortable 6-1 victory, 6-1, they close the gap to 1. They also close the gap in the goal differential with that +5. They went from way behind, nearly 10 goals behind, to suddenly, hey, we're talking 4 points here. A loss for us and a draw for them would see that gap close further and see us on identical points. Say we lose by 1 goal. They'd be within 3, right? Because a draw is going to be a ±0. 2 to play. There's still a scenario where we could see ourselves level on points here. But it's simple. Win the next 2. Preston is one of them. Who's the other? Plymouth? Last time we played Preston, they beat us. But we are at home for this one in our final home match of the season. And we're into that kind of must-win territory if we are going to take that title. I know there's that scenario where if we lose and they draw, we'd be level. But that's just cutting it way too close. Barnsley's at Rotterdam today, 12th place, but they are on the road. We are at home. This is the day where if we win and they lose, the title's ours. This is the day where that actually could happen. But it's also the day where we have Preston, number 3 team in the league. The team with the biggest budget, the team that was the heavy favorites to win the league this season, and the team that poorly defended here. We basically had a guy left open, number 28, whoever that is, 20 Wilkinson. Wilkinson did not pick up the guy on the throw in, and so he ends up wide open. They exploit the space, flash the ball across, face a goal, and get it into the back of the net. Adekunle using the sideline here. Lays it off for Jones, but that gets picked off. Now McFadden doing the same thing, picking that one off, but he goes backwards with it. Rossini gets the start today, but otherwise we are able to play mostly our first 11. Still no Sam Lyons just yet. Adekunle lays it off for McCartney. Cross it, far post. Wilkinson from point-blank range. Should be 1-1, but the keeper makes a very good read on that one and shuts it down. 3 shots all on target, and yet we trail not only on the scoreline, but in XG. Possession is 50-50. Preston showing up to play today. At the moment, Barnsley is drawing and we're losing. Just before halftime, Barnsley lost a point. They must be trailing in their game. Already halftime. Team very fired up. Let's go. Let's go attacking, actually. Turn up that tempo. Let's get that underlap going. Oh, that one was so close. It hit the inside edge of the woodwork there and came down just our side of the goal. And then there was a real chance to pounce on it too, but we got it away. They nearly make it 2, and they're coming in there. Preston's coming out aggressive right now, and they are dominating this game, really. Even try to go more aggressive and get back at it. We are not doing a very good job of that. Rossini heads that away. Rossini on a yellow and not having a great game. Chris Webb was tired. It's 2. It's 2. All right, let's bring on Chris Webb. Jones is having a terrible game, so let's bring on Walker. Wilkinson is exhausted. What we're going to do is bring on Phil Hewitt, and we'll swap Hewitt and Lanahan Penrees. So triple sub coming. Crow, lots of space. Ward was not getting any help. He has to leave his man to go close that out. Miscommunication there in the defense. McCartney was the one who should have been picking up Crow in the first place. And we now trail 2-0, but Barnsley is losing in their game as well. But it's only 1-0. It was a penalty by Walker in the 41st minute. We might be getting bailed out here, folks, but we might not. We've got to try to get back in this thing. Got to go very attacking now. 2 goals down. Barnsley have leveled the score. Of course it would be a penalty. That helps them. James was offside. Not even a flag raised. Clear offside. Well off the back of our man. A lot of fatigue in the legs for a couple of the guys and a really, really poor performance in all. Let's go ahead and go much higher now and trigger that press even more. Ward is on a yellow. I want to tell them to get stuck in. Walker. Ward on the overlap. Adekunle on the underlap. Finds Walker in close, and that's poked away. That should have been a goal. Keeper does. Barnsley leads. Barnsley now leads in their game. They have come from behind, and we now trail in the title race. We now trail. We need you to play as something attacking-wise. Bumps it ahead. Walker's going to get there, but he has to go backwards with it. 6 shots on target to their 3. There's no reason for us to be behind here, and yet we are. Last minute, Ward can't really play up, but what can I do for you? Get you on attack. McFadden, can you play up? Yes, you can. On attack. McCartney can play up as well. We'll still leave you as a ball winner. Switch to a shadow striker on attack. We just need to really throw everything at them here. 3 minutes to pull back 2 goals. Give that one away. But we're going to recover it right away. Ward's ball in, though, gets blocked and picked off. 3 minutes now. 3 minutes. McFadden picks it off. McCartney, though. That one's stolen. Way too many bad passes in close. And that seals it. It was onside. It's definitely onside. 3-0. Rotherham have come back. It's 2-2. Rotherham have come back. It's 2-2. We are back in the title fight as we drop another goal and get down 3-0. Rotherham are doing us a huge favor. But the goal differential now, what, we've got to be +1? Does that game finish? Does that game finish? It does. We are down to a +1 over Barnsley, but we are level on points. Are you kidding me? Wow. Shields in the 87th minute equalizes for Rotherham, and Barnsley have also screwed this thing up. We could not have done much worse than we did. Of course, we went for it, right? That third goal was us committing too much to the attack, but wow. Wow, just wow. 1 goal in our favor, equal on points heading into the final match. And it's going to be another difficult one. We have a very, very difficult final 4 matches of the season, and we are so far 2 points from 3 of those 4 is all we've managed. We are doing everything in our power to lose this thing, but Barnsley are giving us a chance. Preston at 4 down don't matter. They can't do anything. And they've already secured 3rd place. They're not going up or down with that one. Plymouth actually still have 2 to play. Wrexham still have 3 to play. What is going on there? How are we down to a single match with Wrexham still having 3 to play? That's insane. I don't know. But Either way, we're going to leave this thing on a cliffhanger with one to play against Barnsley for the League 2 championship. No, League 1! League 1! We're heading to the championship! Holy crap. We are knocking on the door of the Premier League from the 11th tier. And we've done it in less than a decade and a half. That's going to do it for this episode, though. Can we bounce back? Can we perform? Can we get it done on the final day? A lot of pressure. I'm a Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.